Here they come, and we are racing. No, we're going round again. This is not a racing lap, this is a formation lap. The red lights did not go off, and so we are not racing. Just picking up that little point about the very last driver, Carl Oscar Leave. He made his debut in round 1 at Salbris and was way off the pace. Then round 2 at Lenorto, he was stunning for a young 13-year-old. But there he is, you see at the back, the 23 kart number in the blue livery. Just see at the top of your screen. Here he is, just pulling around at the back. Well, kart 54, David Sutton, we identify him best by the red racing overalls. We identify Steel Juliana best by the predominantly yellow livery. On the next row, Jack Hawksworth. I always look for the white helmet of Jack Hawksworth. Kart number 12. Kart number 15, Alexander Besak, the blue Cosmic Racing overall. And the juniors a little bit keen, as well they might be. Some of these lads very, very young, only 13 years of age, some of them, and nobody older than 3 years more than that. So is this going to be the start of our 18-lap races? Yes, it is. And David Sutton immediately presented with the easy lead because Steel Juliana used his head there. He didn't try to do anything silly from the outside of the front row. He said, look, you're going to lead me, David Sutton, on the front row from pole, but I'll just slot in behind you and we'll go from there. And that looks as if that's a change of lead. Has Steel Juliana gone into the lead? No, I think David Sutton is still there. Yes, kart number 54 is David Sutton in the lead against Steel Juliana and Alexandra Besak in 3rd place. Well, so pleased to see the juniors through the first half of the first lap without mishap. We often have a little... Oh, why did I say that? Why, oh, why did I not keep my mouth shut? Oh dear, the body language there. Kinji Sano, as you can see, is kart number 55 for the Trenta Quattro team, and young Indy Donchi making his international racing debut. So good, and unfortunately your commentator had to say how well everybody was going, and that just was the prelude. And somebody else leaving the top. Oh, and that was well driven. Can you just identify who this driver is? No, I'm not caught him there, but a good piece of driving for somebody to get off the tarmac onto the grass on slick tyres, but hold it and bring it back. A reminder that these are juniors, but a reminder that there's some massive talent as well. Mats Vanderbrand in there, you saw kart number 11, the predominantly blue livery of the Energy chassis. There he is, Mats Vanderbrand, oh, being a little bit nudged out there, so Mats perhaps not as forcefully driving as he might do. He did have somebody else leaving the tarmac to go onto the grass. Mats had that tremendous crash. There he is again, 11, Mats Vanderbrand. Talked to us this morning in the paddock. Really ugly crash yesterday, and I guess we have to say he's doing extremely well to be taking his place in the final at all. Running in 12th place, as you can see from the screen. David Sutton leads Steel Juliana. There is Steel Juliana chasing away kart number 42. Well, guys, this is a repeat of the last couple of laps in the pre-final, but do not assume that this is the way it's going to be, because Steel Juliana is not named Steel for nothing. He's a lad who will be just as tenacious, just as pugnacious as his charismatic father Steve. Well, the bulk of the field coming through here. You can see that Jack Hawksworth is in 4th place in kart number 12. Jack's not always had the best of fortune in this particular series, and of course in the previous round he was on pole position for the final and took a clout on the formation lap and couldn't even start. How unlucky is that? There is Jack Hawks with the white helmet, good little driver, putting the pressure on Alexandra Besak. Alexandra Besak, there you see him in the kart number 15, also with the white helmet, the Cosmic Racing overalls. I've got a lot of time for Alexander Besak. I think he's a very good young driver in the making, but Jack Hawksworth, that applies to equally. And I just think the body language at the moment is that Jack Hawksworth in 4th is looking to be Jack Hawksworth in 3rd. Meantime, David Sutton leads them. Oh, and Kinji Sano, I think that was, just getting back onto the circuit, so at least he's still running. 54 is David Sutton. Oh, and they attack that. This is the chicane leading towards the back straight. They do clout that severely. Now in front of the grandstand, 54 David Sutton, 42 Steel Juliana, 15 Alexandra Besak, and just behind those two, cart number 12, Jack Hawksworth. They're the 1, 2, 3, 4. Behind them, the chasing pack is led by number 6, which is number 6 is Danny Schellniger, and Kazuki Hiramine is in 6th place. Nick Voss 7th, Kevin Korhus 8th, Stephen Ballering 9th, and Nick Van Klinken completing the top 10. Mats van der Brand now running in 11th place. A reminder that Kazuki Hiramine in 6th place is the world number 3. Danny Schellniger in 5th place is the world number 2. Where's the world number 1? Well, he's not a junior anymore. So these two are the top 2 drivers at this level. And you saw again Alexander Besak taking the choice of his to go tight onto the curb and getting a real clout as a result. Well, Daniel Schellniger is now a lot closer to Alexander Besak than he was before. David Sutton still holding the lead off Steel Juliana, and David Sutton maybe marginally increasing the lead. Steel Juliana 0.476 of a second behind. Well, I'm going to remind you that David Sutton, the race leader here in screen, is in a series called Stars of Tomorrow in England. They've run 8 rounds of the series, and David Sutton's won all 8 rounds. It's also a series that this man, number 12, Jack Hawksworth, takes part in, and Jack's pretty high up in the standings as well. But of course, 8 wins out of 8 does put, 8 wins out of 8 puts you on top of the table. There is Steel Juliana tracking the man I'm talking about, number 54, which was David Sutton. Number 6, Danny Schellniger, driving for Team V, being pursued by cart number 14, which is Kazuki Hiramine. Kazuki can be a very forceful driver. Certainly makes his presence felt on the circuits. I'm not suggesting that he's doing it wrongly, but I'm just saying he does know how to drive with the killer instinct. David Sutton, as you can see, has completed 7 of 18 laps, so 11 to go. Steel Juliana, a little bit of a margin behind now. It's over half a second. Nick Voss, the championship leader, running 7th. Maxime Hughes has come through the field to 12th. That's a good drive by Maxime Hughes. Mats van der Brand, despite yesterday's clout, running 11th. Well, here are our leaders, and the bunch in the middle. That's a good dice, isn't it? That really is a good scrap. Cart number 57 is Stephen Ballering. Cart number 11 is Mats van der Brand. 35 is Maxime Hughes. That's the battle for 10th, 11th and 12th. Maybe down the field, but it's a good battle. Stephen Ballering, incidentally, is a Dutchman. He drives the Energy chassis, but I've been calling him a Spaniard. Well, my chart shows him as from Spain, but in fact he's driving on a Spanish license, but is a young Dutchman. Another young Dutchman, of course, Mats van der Brand, drives the Energy chassis for Team TKP. Driving banged up, but nevertheless giving it everything he's got. Ooh, and again you see how the body takes a jolt through those parts of the circuit, and a little bit of movement there. Cart number 35, cart number 11. Well, 35 is Maxime Hughes, 11 is Mats van der Brand, and Mats van der Brand and Maxime Hughes, cart number 35, having a good dice. This is just outside or just on the edge of the top 10. 35, Maxime Hughes was 10th previously, Mats van der Brand 11th. We're coming to the half race distance. 18 laps, 9 gone, 9 to go. Half race distance, 9 laps gone, 9 to go. Well, I have to say that David Sutton's lead on Steel Juliana doesn't look to be diminishing. Instead of saying that, I have to tell you it is increasing. And Steel Juliana, as well as wondering how he can reach David Sutton, has now got to be thinking about defending himself against Jack Hawksworth, because Jack Hawksworth has gone past Alexander Besak. Danny Schellniger making his presence felt. There is confirmation of that battle. Oh, and cart number 43 in real trouble. 43 is Kristaps Gasparovic of Latvia, driving the Gillard's chassis machine. Well, hopefully, didn't really see what led to, I didn't see at all what led to that incident, but I hope that Kristaps is all right. Chris, one of the excellent young Latvian drivers coming through, but he isn't going to finish the final of Rotax Junior here at the A1 Speedworld, I'm afraid. This is the start-finish line once again. Wow, and you see the attacking driving of David Sutton. Now, he isn't driving to attack the guy in front of him. There isn't one there. Well, there's a back marker. And again, you see there, cart number 40.